Vlog CEO Jack Dorsey is not easing up on his beef with Web3. The former Twitter CEO went on an unfollowing spree yesterday, cutting Marc Andreessen, Brian Armstrong, and Tyler Winklevoss from his Twitter account. And Marc Andreessen even blocked Jack. I know we have the screen grab of Marc's block screen on Twitter, but what a wild ride we've had over the past few days. It doesn't seem like crypto Twitter's slowing down for the holidays. It really is the Bitcoin maximalists versus the I want to call them Web3 visionaries, but I don't think I'm going to be a partial journalist if I say that. But the Web3 crowd. Zach, I'm going to pass this off to you. What do you make of what's going on?
Yeah, just because it is a quiet week, right? There's no better thing than just to gather around the Twitter Yule log and see the drama unfolding in real time. So I think people are captivated by this because it is relatively slow otherwise. So it's just been a couple days of dunking back and forth between Jack, who is asserting that Bitcoin is the real cryptocurrency, and a lot of these VC-backed Web3 projects aren't as decentralized as they claim, nor are they as sort of egalitarian or democratic as some of the Web3 adherents would be arguing. So a lot of funny stuff, a lot of animosity toward the VC crowd. There's a really funny one against Tyler Winklevoss. He unfollowed Tyler, and then he was like, I still like you, but no, he said something really, I forget what it was.
Tyler was like, I still like you, you're a great entrepreneur.
Yes.
And then
Jack jumps in. Yeah.
Jack was like, well, I appreciate you, dude, Cameron.
Yeah. That was a cold-blooded shitpost by Jack Dorsey.
Childish.
So anyway,
my God,
it's the popcorn. You get the popcorn out. But, it reveals some of these long-standing rifts within the crypto space. A lot of people who believe that Bitcoin is the thing, take offense at the word crypto, right? There's Bitcoin, and never confuse Bitcoin with crypto. And I think we're seeing that. We're seeing a lot of other tension about, competing visions for what the future of the internet could look like. And it's been fun. There's been a lot of people who have been pinging me and being like, hey, what's going on with this thing? What does this all mean? And I think it is sort of getting people to if not think about the stuff that's being discussed, at least rubberneck at some train wreck situations on the twitter.com. So I'm going to toss this to Naomi. Hopefully she can say something more insightful than I.
I just think this whole thing is ridiculous. And thank you. It's got a bell.
I could hear you ringing before the show. Wasn't sure what part of you was going to ring. Love it.
Every part just rings. I will say that this whole thing drives me crazy because it's so hypocritical and ridiculous, and not to mention childish, just to see people like Jack behaving this way. It's just embarrassing for him. But I will say that this movement to vilify VCs is kind of not just short-sighted, but kind of disgusting, actually. You're biting the hand that's feeding you. I'm not sure a lot of you who are watching the show understand the history of Andreessen Horowitz or how early they got into the space. They were building this space before Jack even knew what Bitcoin was, right? These people were going around and funding every project that is big now and building our decentralized future. Every, platform out there, protocols, they were pouring money in to try and build up this crypto thing. And there are so many VCs out there who just were super early stage. I'm talking 2011, they're, getting into the space, 2012. So before any of this stuff, before this maxi movement, before any of this, you had these companies just pouring money in, and they're the ones who are building all of the innovation that we adore today. So I think it's crazy for people like Jack to come in and be like, yeah, I have a ton of money, but I don't like you because you have a ton of money, but I don't like your kind of money and mine's superior. And it's all these rich kids just hitting on each other. It drives me crazy. I will go to Eric Voorhees's tweet about all of this because I think he summed it up well. All of these people who are and Bitcoin's really pure because no VC money. And Eric replied and said, as if Bitcoin became $1 trillion asset without billions unicorns in venture capital are marketing 1,000 marketing teams and partnerships at 1,000 companies. So very many exchanges and service providers. Bitcoin is the result of millions of people and an entire industry over a decade. So I completely agree there. Also, there are vested interests in Bitcoin as well, right? So you have vested interests in the form of VCs, but you also, as well as capital, you have sweat equity building up these projects. Both are necessary generally to bring anything to fruition. And yet people are like presuming that sweat equity is somehow a valid form of equity, but, you know, capital equity is not an invalid form of equity. Like, it's ridiculous. And really, it's just this anti-business, anti-wealth movement that we've been seeing, and it's now manifesting itself in blockchain, which I am not here for. It's absolutely crazy. I have a lot more to say, but I'll throw it to you, Jen, because I saw your hand go up.
Yeah, I just want to come back to the fact that it takes time and money to achieve true decentralization. And that's something we've talked about a lot on the show before. And I think it's just so short-sighted and upsetting to hear Jack be so against Web3 and VCs, because not everyone out there has as much money as these people who are fighting on Twitter, and they need that time, that money, and the support to achieve these things that we're talking about. I want to quickly touch on something that was brought up amongst all of the Twitter conversation that's been happening. So they're talking about the tokenization of Web3, the idea that people can buy into these tokens to fund the projects. And someone on Twitter wrote that, you know, the SEC has out-regulated the option for people to do ICOs. And so they've kind of pushed people towards Web3. Zach, I saw your hand go up. I wanted to get your opinion on that and your final thought before we go into the next topic.
Oh, I'll do it real quick. I mean, I just think Naomi's point is really smart. Like, Bitcoin arguably relies on more centralized intermediaries than some of these other networks at this point in time. So from Coinbase all the way down, those are heavily VC finance companies that have made the pure Bitcoin available to the folks that it's now available to.